Hi, my name is Rebecca Carleen, and this is my teaching unit for Assignment 4 in AEP 867. The instructional model that I chose to use and works best for my type of instruction is the backwards design model. Choosing the goals and objectives prior to setting up the material and assessments just makes sense and works best for the courses that I teach. The learner characteristics that I have pulled for the typical student that is going to take this type of course will be recent college graduates. A prerequisite of the course is to have completed an ultrasound program, and so most of these students are going to be technologically savvy just because that is what they're used to. They've just recently graduated. They're very in tune with the different technologies and tools out there. This also is a voluntary course. They've just completed an ultrasound program, and some of their peers have decided to get jobs and move on into the workforce, but these particular students are choosing to continue with their education, and so they've got their own motivation there. They also have responsibilities, though. Most of my students are going to be working as full-time sonographers, so that's something I'll have to keep in mind. And some are going to become parents, starting their family now that they've graduated from their major with a major degree, and so that's also something I'm going to have to keep in mind. And then the experience that these students have, many know just a brief overview of the heart, maybe scanning OB ultrasound. They kind of understand the anatomy of the heart, but the pathophysiology and the different pathologies that go along with the heart is going to be very new to the typical student. My module information, so I set my goals and my objectives. The main goal is to describe ischemic heart disease, to include the etiology, the signs, the symptoms, and complications. And then I chose 3 different objectives that just kind of give more specifics on how they're going to obtain that goal. My assessment tools that I'm going to use for this module, there will be a self-assessments that are basically non-graded activities and quizzes that will be available for them to test their knowledge and true understanding of the information. But then there will also be a graded assessment, a final assessment over all the information to determine how the material actually prepared them for that module goal that was set. The different materials that will be available, there will be associated reading from the textbook that will be recommended. There will be additional material that I will provide within the learning module, from YouTube to ThingLink. ThingLink is a technology that you upload an image and then you provide additional information on that image to kind of explain different concepts of the image. So kind of bringing your image to life. Those are very helpful. The students will also have voiced over lectures. I provide lectures through a program called ILOS, and it allows me to put internal quizzes during the lecture. So it's not me just talking and going through slides. They're actually having to comprehend what they're hearing to be able to answer the question to move on with the lecture. So that's been really great to keep them engaged during that time. And then they all have workbooks that go along with their textbook. And so with this module, there will be certain pages out of their workbook that they will be encouraged to use. The activity that I have provided them is an infographic assignment, and I've provided a hyperlink there for anyone who would like to look at it. But this activity basically requires them to know everything that is within my goal. They need to know the etiology of ischemic heart disease, the signs, symptoms, complications, that sort of thing, to put it into an infographic for the public's viewing, just kind of as an informational type of product. So I think they'll really like that. And then the different technology that I'll use throughout the module, I've talked about some of them. ILOS for my recorded lectures. SoftChalk is an application that creates assessments and lectures. This is something that I will provide as more of self-assessments for them to go through and kind of test themselves. Yellow Dig is a discussion board that will be available for question and answers. It's just nice. It's kind of a Facebook format that if somebody posts, you get a notification, and that way if someone has a question and I can answer them, maybe another student will have the same question or something similar, and I'll answer multiple students at one time with just one question. The infographic tool, so most students are going to be using Canva or PictoChart to complete that assignment. The thing link is, I already explained earlier, and then we will be utilizing YouTube for additional information as well. My ITSE standard that I chose that kind of encompasses this assignment or this module is ITSE Teaching 2B, develop technology-enriched learning environments that enable all students to pursue their individual curiosities. I feel like providing self-assessments, those are optional opportunities. So I've given them technology-based self-assessments that they can really set their own educational goals and pursue their individual curiosities to see how they're doing and really truly understanding the information.